I remember finishing the round pretty disappointed. I just needed a reset button that night.
At around 4 p.m., we talked on the phone. He was really missing us.
We just had our daughter, Harper, 4 weeks prior.
I just kind of reminded him of what he's capable of. I said a good round's coming. It's still hard to compute.
Are you serious?
That in 72 hours, he was gonna do something special. You have these moments where you remember where you were.
New Canadian Open champion from Saskatoon.
It's still with me every day.
Mike Weir has won the Masters.
There's something extra special about those moments. This was definitely one of them.
Yeah, words don't describe it. What's a good synonym for getting tackled? The 2023 Canadian Open hit hard.
I was on the 9th tee block when we heard the roar.
At the time, I didn't know there was a toonie in the cup.
Shh. We're in the car 20-ish minutes from the course, but there was other plans for me.
I was in the perfect mindset of, I see this putt going in.
A Cinderella story.
And I actually told him, if you make history, I'm gonna be pretty mad if we're not there.
Swing of the putter. Comes up with some speed, now up the rocks. For the eagle, for the win, to the cap!
Give it a try before these guys pop up. That was really good. It's like 3 feet short.
This green tells a story.
How far is it?
It's different, depending where you're looking from.
It's a 72 feet.
I know, sorry.
But if you have a good read,
It looks a lot longer than 72 feet.
the right touch, and some luck, it can all end the same.
This is the one, I feel it.
One
that's short.
perfect
Take 4.
moment. Oh, come on, seriously?
After the first round of the 2023 Canadian Open, Nick Taylor wasn't even dreaming of a perfect moment like that. He was just trying to make the cut.
He was at the bottom. It was gonna take a lot for him to make the cut, but I knew that that was possible.
We knew we needed probably a good day and some help from other guys.
What Dave is alluding to is players dropping in the standings. But here's some other guys.
My name's Matt St. Thomas.
Thomas Byrne.
Alex Gambino.
We were tasked with course setup.
The group of us just decided to create luck for Canadians.
Who doesn't need a little bit of luck on their side at the end of the day?
And as we were changing the holes, you would give the cup a little bit of a shake, make sure it was still in there, and then put it back in its new spot.
Wait a minute. This isn't one of those Lucky Looney stories, is it?
Oh, no, definitely not. Definitely not. So we had these 2 toonies, right?
We tried to keep it very secretive, but we placed toonies in holes 9 and 18.
Shh, that's awesome.
I had not a whole lot to lose that Friday. Markle did a great job trying to keep me loose.
He turned the corner from Thursday and got a lot of good momentum going. He was grinding pretty hard on Friday, trying to stay inside the cut line.
He was so far behind after Thursday's round, it looked like he wouldn't make the cut.
Obviously, was able to do that. Having the home crowd behind us, they created an unbelievable atmosphere.
I love it.
Canadian golf has been in such a good place for the last, 3-5 years plus.
I mean, it gives you goosebumps. It really does.
But we're talking Canadian Open, no Canadians won in 69 years.
It was 1954. And there I was, sitting on the edge of a car, listening to the play-by-play. I'm listening to my father. He's going to win the Canadian Open.
Pat Fletcher walked up to it and sank it for a 72-hole total of 280.
When he made the final putt, everyone was just celebrating, cheering, and clapping, and so basically became a bit of a party.
The cheers are terrific for the first Canadian in 40 years to win the Canadian Open.
As the years went on, I was thinking, when was another Canadian going to win the Canadian Open?
This Saturday was amazing. Hottest man on the golf course, Nick Taylor for birdie. Right out.
He played unreal, and he just made it look easy.
Once I got into that mode, to really keep the pedal down, to kind of get myself back into contention.
Nick Taylor, solo lead.
Seeing that Nick was in contention was pretty cool.
Nick Taylor!
I remember being at my sister's house. I just thought, man, this is building in something special.
Tied the course record that day.
It's a peloton chasing the top of the leaderboard here at the Canadian Open, but nobody pedaled harder and faster to get there than Nick Taylor.
Peloton.
Great line, Jimmy.
How did Taylor play his way right back into this tournament?
He got a talking to from his wife is really what happened.
It was a reminder that I'm right.
The story is building here in Canada.
It's interesting, knowing that I was not there when my father won the Canadian Open in 1954, I made a habit to be at the Canadian Open just in case a Canadian won. But I chose not to be here because I didn't think it was going to happen.
We're both slightly superstitious. I said, do you want us to head out there? He's like, you know what? I'd probably be worrying about you two taking your first flight together too much, so it's probably best you stay home. And I actually told him, if you make history, I'm gonna be pretty mad if we're not there.
Before the final round, we kind of discussed, like, let's do something a little bit different for Sunday.
I had no idea that he was using a toonie for the ball marker.
He's marked his ball with a Canadian $2 coin. Toonie.
We came together and kind of figured out a way that we could get a toonie right in the middle.
The Canadian trying to win the National Open here at the RBC Canadian Open.
I kind of remember thinking that day was going to be different.
I tried to keep busy throughout the day.
You tried not to think about the end. You're just trying to, keep him in the moment.
How about Nick Taylor?
Everyone's been talking about how tough the first 6 holes are.
Nick gets off to this incredible start.
Not for Nick Taylor today. He played those in 3 under.
I just thought, man, he's going to do this thing. I need to get to the golf course.
This was at 7. This was a wonderful little shot. Led to birdie.
About halfway there, my middle son tells me his stomach is not feeling great. And I thought, oh, great.
To 9 and Nick Taylor, the leader by 1.
Stop the car, and my oldest son starts throwing up as well.
He has an eagle look coming up at the 12th.
Man, this is it. I'm like, this is what's going to hold me back from getting to the golf course right here.
Trying to make history, modern day history.
With the buzz building around us, he was kind of like a ninja assassin coming down the stretch.
It's a great putt for the Canadian. He's back on top with 1 to play.
And produced a roar that could be heard all the way to British Columbia.
Oh, boy.
I was tied on the last hole, so I knew birdie would get me 1 ahead.
You know how much he wanted it. I saw it in his eyes.
Here it comes. He's done it! Birdie's 17 and 18.
What a finish.
What he's done these last 3 days. Wow.
He can play well, and somebody else can play better.
Tommy Fleetwood heads to the last.
And he can win it with a birdie at the 72nd.
It was a roller coaster of emotions of thinking that I almost wanted Tommy standing on the 18th tee, birdie to win. I wasn't really liking my chances.
Here we go, 46 feet. Beautiful pace. This suspense is going to last for a while.
Not even security could contain the chaos as the crowd ran to get a front row seat. None ran faster than the current crop of elite Canadian golf. Okay.
Guys, where's Mackenzie Hughes?
This is all happening. I'm cleaning up the car.
So each player, their first PGA Tour playoff.
I've got the golf on my phone, a very mobile device. I had a very close eye on it, but it was one hand with the puke and the wiping, and one hand on the phone at all times. Not the way I pictured watching the finish.
Putt after putt, they just were kind of neck and neck. It was really hard.
I got more and more nervous because it felt like somebody's going to end up missing a shot, sort of giving it away.
Send him back to 18T for the 4th playoff hole.
This is so good.
And that's going to be in the neighborhood of some 70 feet, maybe?
Yeah, no, give me 2 putt.
I saw that look. I knew that he was gonna do something special.
From 72 feet, I'm not expecting to make that.
It's not a putt that we practice a whole lot.
I was thinking, 2 putt, great, let's move on.
It was obviously a calculated guess, just see the line and hit it.
Swing of the putter.
Could tell that the speed looked pretty good.
Comes up with some speed, now up the rise.
My eyes were the size of pizza trays.
The crowd started to get louder and louder.
You have the entire country on your back at this point.
You know, I pretty much blacked out.
The green jacket is going north of the border.
The Masters win in 2003 was the last Kodak moment for Canadian golf.
Mike Weir changed the game for Canadians. But I mean, come on. After a 69-year wait,
Comes up with some speed.
this moment was magical.
For the eagle, for the win, to the cup, to the cup.
Oh, my goodness! Glorious and free!
I think I just immediately sobbed.
That is not to be believed.
I didn't even know I tossed the putter, really.
You're storming the 18th green now.
I came in hot around the corner. Security guard came in hot from the other side as well.
Man, I had the best seat in the house for the tackle.
They just tackled Adam Hadwin, by the way, who was trying to approach his friend.
There was a Hollywood writer making a script. It wouldn't have been that good.
We heard the roar, and then we heard over the radio.
Nick Taylor just made a 72-footer. He just won the RBC Canadian Open.
The wait was over.
This is for my family at home.
High five, Nick.
It's amazing to think that a guy that I grew up with is that guy.
Pretty special moment for golf in Canada and golf in general.
This is the most incredible feeling ever.
This win is likely to go down as one of those where you when moments like Sidney Crosby golden goal. And I'm just wondering how it makes you feel to know people are going to be having that conversation about something you did.
To think that I'm the person that people are thinking about is kind of breathtaking.
Everything came together at that moment to create something that will live on forever.
Are you serious? Oh, my goodness! Glorious and free!